So let's continue with the DLC characters from Season 3 with their Season 4 changes. Leroy's up. First of all, his new move, up back 2. 20 frame move, does 20 damage, leaves Leroy at +3 on hit, and if blocked at -10. Next up is his Chakra Fist. Quarter Circle 2, comes out at 16 frames, as a launcher of course. It's high, so it's safe at -6, but it can still be ducked. Now we have changes to Hermit's 3-4. And what's happened here is that they've changed the advantage on hits. It used to be 0, and now it's +1, so a bit of a buff. Forward 4 out of Hermit, his orbital out of Hermit. So what they've done is they've nerfed the range, decreased the range of the attack. And they've also changed the frames a bit. So it's now 26 to 29 instead of 26 to 30. Next up is out of Hermit back 1. And what's happened here is that they've decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the move is blocked. That's actually a buff because he's in +4. So that's a buff for Leroy. Next up is during Hermit, back 4. And what they've done here is decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. So that's definitely another buff for Leroy. Next up is forward 3. Not the extensions, just the forward 3. And what's happened here is we received a damage nerf. It used to do 17 and now it does 14. And then now we also come to the extension, which is the forward 3 1+2. What's happened here is that changed the frame advantage upon hit from 0 frames to -6. So it's been nerfed on that range, but it's also been nerfed on block. It's now -12 frames. It used to be -6, so it's now no longer safe on block, and it can be punished with a 12 frame punisher. Next up is down 2, not the extension, just the down 2. And it's received the damage nerf. It used to do 15, it now just does 11. Next up is down 1+2. What's happened here is they've decreased the reach of the move. And so that's another small nerf for Leroy. Now we have also down back 1-3. So what happened is that the second hit, when it hits as a counter hit, they've changed the behavior of the opponent. So that's just a change. General, I don't know if it's a buff though, I'll be very honest. And we also have down back 3 1+2. And so what's changed here is that the second hit has been nerfed. It used to do 29 damage and now this does 25. And then we have just down back 4, and it's also been nerfed. It used to do 15 damage and now it does 13 damage. Now let's go on further. What we have here is back 1. And back 1 has also received a damage nerf. It used to do 17, it now does 14. And further on what we have is back 1+2. This move has had its distance decreased, so that's a nerf, especially because Leroy is at -9 afterwards, so that's definitely a nerf. Next up is up forward 4, his orbital out of normal standing. And what they've done is that they've changed the startup from 21 to 23 frames, between that spectrum to 23 to 25 frames. So now it's slower. That's definitely another nerf. Now we come to forward 2-2. And yes, the second hit has had its damage reduced as well. It used to be 15, now it just does 13 damage. Another nerf for Leroy. Furthermore, we have forward 1+2. So what's happened here is that they've decreased the move's reach, and yeah, it's been decreased, but it still has a whole lot of distance. Next up, we have the whole while rising moves. So now we have while rising 2 in the state that it must hit, and the third hit is where the changes have happened. It used to do 12 damage, sorry, and it now just does 10. Further on, going with the while rising moves, we have while rising 3, not the extensions, just the first hit. And what's changed here is that it received a damage nerf. It used to do 17, now it does 14. Now we come to the extension, so the second part, while rising 3 1+2, And what's happened here is that there used to be a frame advantage of 0 on hits, and now that frame advantage has become -6. That's a nerf, but they've also changed it on block. It used to be safe at -6, and it's now -12. So now it can be punished. So then while crouching down forward 4, what they've done is adjusted the motion since it was difficult for opponents in jumping status to land a mid attack. So that has to do with consistency for like moves with low crushing properties. You'll also see that by my Safina and other videos. So then we have during sidestep 4, what's changed here is that it's actually been buffed. It used to do 16 damage and now does 17 damage. And they've also changed the opponent's behavior when on hit. I'll be honest, I don't know what it was before. And then lastly we have Royce Parry, and it's called Twin Gates, and once it succeeds you can either press 1 or 2. And what's happened here is on the last hit, the 5th hit, it's been nerfed. It used to do 20 damage, it now just does 10. And it's also changed the opponent's behavior when hits, and what's happened is that they don't fly as far back anymore, as you can see in the animation. Anyway, that's more or less been it for Leroy. Hope you guys liked the video. Stick around because there's more stuff coming. Consider subscribing, leave a like and comment, and I'll see you on the next one.